It's California, Southern California, UCLA. Then we go inside to Washington in lane 3 in 4th place. Then lane 5, Stanford. Stanford down 5 seats from Washington. And then to the outside lane, lane 6, Washington State with 4 seats over lane 7, Oregon State. Great racing here in the women's varsity 8. The number 1 seed, Southern California, they have got to work a little harder here if they want to keep that number 1 position, as California now has a 6-seat advantage over the Trojans as we approach 750 meters. It's California, and now UCLA overtaking Southern California, then Washington, then Stanford, then Washington State, and finally Oregon State. A little bit of a headwind here starting at 750 meters. Nothing too bad, nothing like last year, of course, when we had lightning and heavy wind. This is pretty optimal conditions, just a slight headwind, but what a great race here as UCLA, the Bruins, have their bow ball as the California 2 seed. So this is turning into be quite a race. It could be between Cal and UCLA for the gold medal, as Washington in lane 3 has now pulled almost even with Southern California in lane 1. So it's California, UCLA, barely in 3rd place, Southern California, then Washington, Stanford, Washington State, Oregon State. And that's the call to halfway markers. California asserting themselves early. They put themselves in that position early to try to make no doubt they're in this race for the gold medal after some earlier season losses to some of these teams. California now finding that they have a 5-seat advantage over UCLA. UCLA 1 seat now over both Washington and Southern California. So it's a 3-boat race for the silver and bronze medal. These top 4 crews all in contact with each other. California now with 6 seats over UCLA and Washington. What an amazing race here. The pack is not spreading out much. It's getting tighter as we head down the race course. Stanford continues in 5th, bow to stern behind UCLA and Washington. Washington State in 6th, still with 4 seats over 7th place Oregon State. And now Southern California in lane 1, moving back into the silver medal position, just slightly ahead of both Washington and UCLA. UCLA so fast for the first 1,000 meters, but they're facing some strong contenders from lanes 1 and 3, Southern California and Washington. California holding on now to a 6-seat advantage over both the Huskies and the Trojans. UCLA falling back to 4th place. Stanford still in 5th. Here comes the call at 1,500 meters. For the women's varsity 8, California, then USC Washington, UCLA, Stanford, Washington State, and then Oregon State trailing. Keep your eyes on lanes 1 and 3. 1, 3, and 4. Southern California now along the shore working up a little bit more. Southern California working up, they've got their bow ball at the California 4 seat. It's California, Southern California, Washington, UCLA, Stanford, Washington State, Oregon State. 350 meters to go. Will Cal hold on and take the race again like they did last year? Southern California, the number 1 seed, but they're struggling along the shore here. I've got to make the last call here at 250 for the women's varsity 8. California, Southern California, Washington, with UCLA chasing.
Followed by UCLA and Stanford. Unofficially California, and a photo finish once again for second and third. They had a great